Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and it was an eventful setup, as always tends to be the case when I'm doing these live streams, because I had the air conditioning going. It is hot again here in the UK, and for the second time in probably a couple of months we've got another heat wave warning, which means it's going to be really hot. So after the last heat wave, I do have an air conditioning unit that, as you guys will know if you've been watching the live stream since then, I managed to spill lots of water that came out of that unit all over my carpet, but that was fine. And I had it going before tonight's live stream, and at 25 minutes past 11, it made, so 35 minutes ago, it made a funny noise, and now all it does is blow out hot air. Which a lot of people might say that about me, but it's not ideal. So I've turned that off. I've got the fan going. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud, and it's just blowing some air. And I mean, the air's not too bad. I think it's about 20 degrees, something like that, maybe a little bit more than that actually in this room. But I've now ordered one of the little units that was suggested on a previous live stream, where you put water in it and I think you can put ice in it, and then it can kind of blow cold air in your face. So I've ordered one of those. After the last heat wave, I thought, well, it's the UK, so what are the chances that the temperature is going to get back up to where it was, you know, like 40 degrees? But then sure enough, it just seems to be heating up all the time here in the UK now. Maybe this is going to be a regular thing, but hopefully, I mean, I won't melt by the end of the live stream and we'll be able to get through it. While I was ordering that, I ordered some new batteries for my lights, because sometimes those run out during the live streams. I do tend to do a few analysis videos and maybe a live stream or two on one charge, so they do last a long time, but I have just, thrown caution to the wind and thought, right, let's buy another couple of batteries so that there's constant batteries on the go, either charging or being used, so then I never run out. And the other news is that on Thursday, I'm going to be setting up the new computer. And I'm going to keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon as to how that goes, because I've got to get everything from this Mac onto the new, and it's not a Mac, or it's called a Mac Studio, so it's not like a Mac Pro that I've got here, but it's Mac Studio. And yeah, that might take me longer than I anticipate, so I don't know. And that will probably just affect Friday night's video, whether that's going to be an analysis video or a different kind of video, to buy me a little bit more time setting it all up and getting it working, because of course we have the live stream on Saturday night, so fingers crossed it'll all be going for that. Right, let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the live chat room tonight. And we have Alison, Vince, John, Charlie, Robert, Laurie, Linda, Rocker Girl, Terry, Barbara, Jennifer. I can see Shawnee Key about to go through under Terry's name. So hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight. And let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. And a massive shout out to you people. You know who you are, and they do pop up in the PayPal donations window as well as the Super Chat donations window. But we will be aiming for, let's get the lights goal up on screen straight away. We are aiming for 330. Does that say? It's a bit small on my screen, but it might be 330. If it isn't, then I apologise, but whatever the number is up there, that's what we're aiming for tonight. I know it's got to be around 330. So let's maybe get the likeometer up on screen, and let me just move it into the right place before I show it, because when we go live, the screens all move around, which is a little bit annoying, but let's get that up on screen. There we have it, 174 likes we have got so far, so a great start. If you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that'll be massively appreciated, and hopefully by the end of the live stream we'll get to 330, which means we will have a pick roulette next Tuesday. We are going to be having one of those tonight, so stay tuned for that. Right, just mentioning about the donations and these lovely people over on Patreon, which is the foundation of everything that I do. I always say that if I wasn't on YouTube, then I would be doing exactly the same thing over on Patreon. And I always say you don't have to donate. Just watching the live streams, watching the channel is good enough for me. But if you can't resist, then all the information you need is up on screen. Between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5%, so about 4%, goes to PayPal through the PayPal donations window, or I should say through the link, because that's in the description below if you guys want to do it via PayPal. So I am in desperate need, well, not desperate need, but I think I am in need of a haircut. As you can start to see with my my fringe has now gone well past eye level. So, I mean, this is the point in my hair growth that I think I would be auditioning for Jesus Christ Superstar. That's probably a role that I could go for. I'd probably need to get these as long as the rest of it, or at least maybe down to kind of mouth or jaw level to get my hands on that particular role or that part. But I will have a haircut at some point. I still have to organise it. It hasn't been booked in. Maybe I can get that done next week, so we'll still get a few days growth. But hopefully I will still be able to see everything by the end of the week. And it's just centre parting is just how we have to do it. Unfortunately, when the hair gets really long. I say unfortunately because it's not one of my favourite looks. But, I mean, as long as it parts somewhere near the middle, then I can get away with it. Right, let's try and keep everything organised for this live stream, given the bedlam that kicked off beforehand. And that really did affect me setting up the vote for tonight. I only just did that before we went live, because the vote for tonight's cover videos, I mean, it's between In My Dreams, which I can see has 63% of the vote, and the other one is Don't Slow Down by Mr. Mister. So those are the two songs to vote for tonight. If you are a Mr. Mister fan, make sure that you vote for Don't Slow Down. But it looks like it might be a bit of docking, a lot of time for you guys to make your mind up. 63% for In My Dreams at the moment, and that'll be at the top of the live chat room. So just wherever you're commenting, just look at the top of that and have your vote over there. Let me get into the donations, and I can see Laurel's going through saying, what's wrong with playing in Jesus Christ Superstar? I would love to see the play. I have seen the move a couple of times. So thank you for that. And I didn't say that there's anything wrong with Jesus Christ Superstar. I have actually seen it when I was very young in the West End in London. So yeah, I didn't say there's anything wrong. I'm saying this is the look that I would audition with, or I'd probably wait till my hair was a little bit longer if I was going for an audition for that particular role of Jesus Christ. So yeah, nothing wrong with it at all. Right, what was I about to do? I was going to jump into the donations that came through before we went live, because that's always something that I tend to do, because they do disappear when we go live. Because Orlando donated $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was Spike the Likes with lots of thumbs up. Let's get out the live stream Tuesday mug, and there it is. So if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, there's a tray underneath this video. Click on anything, it will take you through to the spring.com store, or you can click on the link in the description below. That will take you through to the same place, the same site, spring.com. And there's the t-shirts, the hats, the hoodies, all that kind of stuff, the tumblers as well, which is going to be good for keeping your drinks nice and cool in these kinds of temperatures here in the UK. And it's something that I do like to have, a crushed ice drink. I have like grape juice and I crush the ice in a blender, and it's like, I've mentioned I think slush puppies before. I don't know whether that's a worldwide thing, but it is something I used to have when I was a kid, so it just reminds me of that. Have a slush puppy type drink, great for these kinds of temperatures. But thank you, Orlando, for that. And yes, Paul has donated $5 backing up Orlando and says, one of the usual suspects. And Orlando's backup says, Spike the Likes, all y'all. Everyone have fun tonight, rock. So thank you for that, Paul. And I think those were the donations before we went live, because then Orlando donated after we went live, $5. Again, thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is chicken fajitas for dinner tonight. I will be stuffing my face but watching. So thank you for that, Orlando. And tonight's one of those nights where I'm not as hungry as I usually am doing these live streams, because I had a curry meal earlier, which is like, you know, chicken and rice in kind of a sauce. I don't really like spicy food, so it was a very mild, you know, curry if you're into those kinds of meals. So, I mean, unfortunately, I just did a little bit too much. So it means I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm full up, but I'm still feeling the effects of my dinner, because yeah, I tried to finish it all, and it was one of those, you know, when it starts taking you about 10 to 15 minutes to finish the mouthful you're on, and you've still got about 5 mouthfuls to go. It was one of those situations. So yeah, I was very full earlier on this evening. It's just me making too big a portion, unfortunately, but that's just the way of it. And sometimes before a live stream I'll have, you know, like a bacon sandwich or something, which was probably about half or a third of the calorific intake that I had tonight. So I'm not too bad at the moment. So I don't mind so much that Orlando is stuffing his face, because I don't really feel like stuffing my face at the moment. Thank you for that donation, Orlando. And Jennifer donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, thanks for Paris Nord having chocolate and waiting for my shot or my back. Oh, for my back tomorrow. Take care. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I initially thought that you were talking about a shot as in alcohol. Maybe Jennifer was by the bar. She's waiting to get her shot of whatever it may be. But no, it's for her back. So I hope that goes well and isn't too painful. Sounds like it might be painful, but I hope it isn't. And thank you for that donation. Right, we are going to jump into the PayPal window as well, because I do like to address all of these donations that happen between live streams as well. Every single one, because it really does help me to do what I do on the channel. And all of the things, like for example, you know, the Mac Studio, even buying that in the first place, I was looking at getting a computer or a second-hand Mac, all of those kinds of things, because of the cost that it would have, you know, set me back to get a new computer. But because of all of your amazing support, it's meant that I've been able to save up that money and buy a, you know, Mac Studio. And it pretty much, with the donations that I received, pretty much took me to within, I think, like $1,300 or $1,400, if I'm talking about the US currency, to then be able to get the computer that I've now got, or I'm going to kind of be putting together, not putting together, but setting up. It does come fully assembled. I'll be putting that together, setting it up on Thursday. So yeah, it was great that I was able to get a computer that I think will last a long time, because this one's from 2013, you know, which is still a good computer, but it's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Yeah, almost 10 years old, and technology really does move on quickly. So because of your support and all of your kind donations, it's meant that I've been able to get that. And things like I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, just getting batteries for my lights and just keeping everything moving forward. Hard drives, as you guys know, I go through those quite a lot, quite quickly. So yeah, all of these things that really do keep things going on a day-to-day basis, and it's all due to you guys and your very kind support over on Patreon, the foundation of everything, but then your very kind donations during these live streams as well, which I always say you don't have to do, but they are very much appreciated. But I always address these donations between the live streams as well. So thank you to Nicole, who donated £12.11, and that was at 9:15 earlier today. And the message was, "Hi Phil, many good things for you, lot of love fondly." So thank you for that, Nicole. And I'm just going to scroll up because there was another one, and this is from Steve, who has donated £5, and this came in at 8:02 earlier this evening, so we might be able to get these on screen, because I don't think I had any, Mimo Live, which is this software that I use. I don't think that subscription went through PayPal because I have to jump around emails sometimes because it's all in my PayPal folder. But here is Steve's donation. Thank you for that. And the message is Lamont Dozier of Dozier Holland also died yesterday. How did this 60s Motown writing team shape modern music? So thank you for that, Steve. And yes, I think it's something that's probably going to be mentioned in the live stream, but I'll mention it now about Olivia Newton-John sadly passing away. And yeah, thank you guys for letting me know over on Patreon, but also in the comments section here on YouTube that, when it's actually my dad rang me out, and because we are collectively as a family huge fans, I think it was one of those that, because my dad thought that I should know, he rang me up as soon as he found out. And my dad, was a huge fan, and my sister used to watch the Grease movie like all the time, just on repeat pretty much, as well as the soundtrack, because we had the vinyl of the soundtrack. And I don't know if anybody else had that, but I mean, I don't know whether the covers were different, but here, the soundtrack to Grease, I remember it now. It had Olivia Newton-John on the front with John Travolta, and it had like a pencil that was supposed to be on there as well. So, and I think it was green in colour. So I even remember that cover for the record. So it's one of those that we had on quite a lot. My dad listened to a lot of Olivia Newton-John, and yeah, her voice was certainly one of those that was a constant thing in my life growing up. So yeah, to hear that she's passed away is very sad, and I always tend to have a shock reaction to it, because all of these people that you listen to for so many years, especially Olivia Newton-John, just seemed like she was always young. No matter what age she was, whenever you see interviews with her, she was just full of life. And it's one of those things that I think anyone finds it hard to accept, that when you feel like somebody so well because you've seen them and listened to them throughout your whole life, when they then pass on, it's like, oh, they are human after all, and you just don't expect it. And that is certainly the case recently. We've mentioned about Judith on the other live stream, Judith Durham, who sadly passed away recently as well. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Australia, I'm sure, are in mourning, given the recent news of those passings. But yeah, fortunately, we do have all of the songs, live performances as well. Something that I do mention a lot of videos, at the end of videos, that we can see on YouTube live performances of these artists, and they will be there for all time. So, that is one of the things that modern technology has helped us with, is that we can now actually see these performers like just performing at the top of their game and just enjoy them, and then for this to be passed on to future generations as well, which it definitely will do with these artists. But thank you for that, Steve. And let me just answer that question, because it was, and this is one of those that could be a very long answer, but how did this 60s Motown writing team shape modern music? So yes, I think the Dozier Holland Dozier writing team is something that I've mentioned in a lot of videos because of that Motown connection. And I think with them, I mean, having said about, great songwriting partnerships and teams, I know that, Burt Bacharach, Hal David is another one of those that I've mentioned in a lot of videos. But certainly with that Motown connection, and I mean, the thing about the Motown songs is that, I mean, it's pretty much just hit after hit after hit. But when you're talking about those hits in the 60s and then kind of carrying over into 70s as well, pretty much, I think then, late 70s, maybe not as much in early 80s. But the thing about having the hits in the 60s and the 70s is that it doesn't matter, once you've had that many hits over, that kind of time frame, just consistent hits, those songs now get covered by lots of other artists, and they stand the test of time, because a great song is a great song for all time. Once it has been written, it will be covered for the rest of time by so many different singers. And I'm sure that if you guys just typed in to Wikipedia, just a list of their songs, and you can literally just do that in Google. I'm sure there's going to be a Wikipedia page that has, the list of all of the songs that they wrote, and then all of the bands, the Supremes, of course, Diana Ross, that had so many hits, but loads of different bands and artists. But then all of the people that have the songs that they've covered, so and you'll see that going into the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, up until now, pretty much, that there'll be named artists that everybody knows who have covered these songs from 40, 50, 60 years ago, technically talking about the 60s, but they're going to be just the same songs that are repeated all the time because they are so good. So yeah, huge impact on not only the music industry there, but modern music, because they are being reproduced all the time. So that's just what I'll say for that. But thank you, Steve. And yeah, it's something that we could talk about for a very long time. But it's almost midnight already here in the UK. So I will try to keep things organised and move on swiftly. Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi, Phil. Let me scroll down so you guys can see this. Hi Phil, what is the funniest / weirdest questions you've been asked? So thank you for that, Tammy. And I'm not sure, this is something I'd have to think about. What's the weirdest thing I've been asked? I don't know. Maybe I don't think it's particularly weird. Maybe if my hair's real, that's something that I think people that maybe don't have long hair just assume that if you've got long hair it might be a wig or something, but that's a kind of weird question. My hair, I have addressed this actually in the past, that my hair is mine, or I should say, well, if you buy your hair, say that you do wear a wig or a hairpiece, you still own that, so that is technically yours, but mine is mine, growing directly out of my head. So as you guys will see, if you were to look at my hair, you can literally see the growth. Maybe I've got like 100 like wigs that I wear that have slightly different hair lengths, but anyway, yeah, no, the hair is my own. I think I class that as a weird question. It's probably not a weird question, but I have said about, wearing a wig. If somebody could make a wig that's exactly the same as my hair that it looks like, it certainly would make things a lot easier. But then again, it's part of the fun, just having random partings. I've always said that my hair just does what it wants to, and I just have to deal with whatever it's feeling like doing that particular day. I don't know, but does this happen with wigs where does it always stay in the same place? So say, for example, I had a wig that was like this. If I put it on, would it always look exactly like this? Like if you were to hairspray real hair and then it doesn't move very much? Or does a wig even have particular partings that it does and then it's a bit random? So, because if that was the case, then I don't think my master plan of getting a wig that just looked exactly the same the whole time would work. So yeah, I don't know if anybody knows the answer to that. It's not really my particular area of expertise, but maybe I'll need to know for the future, just in case I have to drastically change my hairstyle or start. I don't know if the technology exists yet that makes a really realistic looking wig. Maybe it does, and I think in movies they have wigs that they wear, and I'm trying to think of actors who have different hair to how they had in the movies, and then whether you can spot that it's a wig or not. I think maybe it's getting more advanced now, but then again, applying that every single day and doing all the makeup would be really I say doing the makeup, trying to blend the part of the wig into the forehead and all that stuff would take too long. Anyway, I'll just stick with my hair at the moment, and fingers crossed it'll last for a little bit longer. But anyway, again, I've always said that it's genetics. Whatever happens. It doesn't really matter, whatever your hairstyle. But anyway, and some people will say, why do you even have it like this in the first place? Because it makes you look stupid. I said, well, this is just how I want to have it. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you're into. I just happen to want to look like I'm from the 70s or from the 80s, which I've said. Stranger Things is a very popular TV series, so it's another excuse for me to get away with this. Anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. That's the only weird question I could think of. There might have been other ones, but they don't, come to mind at this particular moment. But thank you, Denise, as well, who has donated £47.46. Thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation as well, without a message. And just scrolling up, because Bonnie has donated £12.34. Thank you for that, Bonnie. And the message is, hiya, Phil. So the question, I am here. Thank you for that, Bonnie. Do you miss teaching guitar? Cheers. So thank you for the donation and the question afterwards. But I mean, pretty much what I'm doing, I still feel like I am teaching guitar, because I have a lot of people that ask me things on, Patreon. There's a guitar course over on my Patreon page that has 4 lessons. And when people start doing that, they ask me questions about playing the guitar. They ask me questions about guitars and buying guitars. I also get emails through my website. People sometimes send me messages through YouTube as well, even though the email address does say for business inquiries, but some people do use that email address. So those come through. And yeah, just with my general videos, if I'm playing my guitar or taking you through maybe the chords, I still feel like I'm teaching, in that I'll point out something if I think it's pertinent to not only the song, but if people are wanting to improve at playing the guitar, then I will mention that when I'm getting the guitar out. So yeah, I still feel like I am teaching guitar, so it's not as if I now never get my guitar out. And yeah, I don't miss it, because I just enjoy teaching a lot of people, rather than just kind of doing a one-on-one lesson, which I used to do. And when I worked in a shop called Mr. Music, I used to do lessons with maybe 2 or 3 people, but I always found that kind of doing one-on-one lessons were more beneficial for the person that you're teaching, because with 2 or 3 people you can only really move at the speed of the slowest learner, and you might have somebody in that particular group who has a natural affinity for picking up playing, or at least being able to hear a note that is higher and a note that is lower. So they start to build that relationship with their ear and their guitar, knowing that as they go higher up the guitar, it's going to be a higher note, whereas some people can't hear that naturally. So yeah, the one-on-one lessons I found were better for when I was teaching in the shop. But I mean, now effectively I'm teaching thousands of people all at once, just whoever's watching the video, because there might be thousands of guitar players who are just maybe learning to play, or might be in a particular standard where they'll get something out of the video that I'm doing. So yes, I don't really feel like I'm not teaching guitar, so yeah, there's nothing really for me to miss. But thank you for that, Bonnie. And let me just scroll up, because let me get this centralized a bit. Richard Totoro Porco has donated £3, so thank you for that. And scrolling down, because the message is, you and Olivia Newton-John would have done an amazing duet of Paris Nord. Sending much love to Olivia. So thank you for that, Richard, and the kind words. That would have been, yeah, a duet that I'm sure my dad wouldn't have believed if that ever would have happened. But yeah, it would have been my honour to have done such a thing. But thank you for that, Richard. And scrolling up, because Carla has donated £10. Let me just give a shout out to those moderators in that live chat room, because Neil's in there at the moment. You can see their names going through in blue, and they've got a wrench next to their names. But Neil is in there, Carla as well, and Laurie, Susan and Dennis. They are the moderators who dedicate their time to the live stream. So a huge thank you to you guys for doing such a great job and keeping it like a community in that live chat room. Just while I mention that, let me give a shout out to that page over on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user and you want to get involved over there, head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group, and just join in with that group. That's where a lot of people in the live chat room hang out between the live streams. So back to Carla's donation of £10. Thank you for that, Carla. The message is, I just want to hear you say these words after listening to someone else from the UK say them. I'm curious if it's them or others from there too. Khaki and khaki pants. Thanks for helping me with a laughing face. So yeah, those have exactly the same pronunciation here in the UK, and I'm not sure how else you would say those, but I'm sure it's pronounced differently. But yeah, so same pronunciation for those. That's obviously spelt a lot differently. So thank you for that, Carla. Right, I don't. That's a pronunciation test, the first one that we've had, I think. Apart from me saying, what did we have last time? It was. And I saw an email here, I think it was from Ruth, that was telling me, I saw that before we went live, about the pronunciation of taco. So yeah, that was because tacos is something that I was saying tacos before. I wasn't sure how to say them because it's not something that I eat. But yeah, I've now been reliably informed, I think by Vince previously as well, that taco was the correct way of saying it. And Taco Bell, the chain that is here in London in the UK. I have never been, but I do know that it is a thing and exists. So thank you for the pronunciation pointers. And let's just jump over to PayPal because Lawrence has donated £10 and 28 pence. So thank you for that. And the message is Philip Henley, YouTube site. So thank you for that, Lawrence. And yes, my name is Philip, so there's an I before the L. That's just a typing error, I think they're from Lawrence. And yeah, F-I-L, I mean Phil, everyone calls me that. So you can call me Philip if you want to. But my uncle, Philip, that's what we call him. He's got exactly the same name. He's Philip Henley, but I'm Phil because it helps to differentiate between Philip and Phil, two founding members who have exactly the same name. So you can blame my parents for that. But scrolling up, Terry has donated £19 and 77 pence. So thank you for that, Terry. And that is a straight up donation. So thank you. And Diana has donated £8 and 9 pence. So thank you for that, Diana. And this has a message with it. Hiya's Phil. It's been a tough year for me. I've lost people I love, among other things. Thank you for being a bright light and providing a place where good chat, good music and good folks can just be in the moment and have a good time. You make a difference, so cheers. So thank you for that, Diana, for the kind words. And I'm sorry to hear that it has been a tough year. But hopefully, where are we now? I was going to say the second half of the year, but the last quarter of the year, it seems to be disappearing. So, I mean, hopefully the last quarter in 2023 is going to be an even better one and an improvement. And even saying 2023 sounds crazy because in my head, I can remember 2016 seeming like it was really far in the future. But we're in 2022. What is going on? But anyway, thank you for that, Diana. And I can see that we have had some donations in the Super Chat window as well. So thank you guys for those. Let's have a quick look into that vote. In My Dreams is still at 61% of the vote. So make sure that if you want to hear Don't Slow Down by Mr. Mister, that you vote for that. But it looks like we might be hearing a little bit of Dokken tonight. Let's look at the likeometer. 284 likes so far. We are aiming for 330. So if I think it says that, if you want to hit that thumbs up, it'll be massively appreciated to get us to that target so that we can have another pick roulette next week. And we will be having one of those tonight. So if you can give a spike of the likes, that would be great. We'll keep an eye on that number, see if we can get up to maybe 300 with a little spike. Who knows? But every single like really does help this live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole as well. So thank you for subscribing and hitting the notification bell, all of that cool stuff. And if you haven't subscribed, I do highly recommend it to make sure that you get notified for these live streams, because I know that a lot of people do miss out on them when they are live. But if you do get subscribed, then hit that notification bell to get notified for the live streams. And if you click on it, you should get a countdown on the screen as to when I am going to be going live, because it's always 12 midnight British summer time here in the UK. And yeah, just type it in Google, just time in UK, but type in London, England. Type that in. Time in and type in are too similar for my brain to be able to separate up. So anyway, yeah, just type that in. Time in London, England, and you'll hopefully be able to figure out in your time zone when I'm live. Anyway, let's jump into those super chat donations. And where did we get up to there? I think Orlando was the next one with another $5 donation. Thank you again for that, Orlando. The message was, Olivia Newton-John always smiled. She hesitated taking the role of Susan Olsen in Grease. John Travolta, Danny Zuko, fought hard to get her cast. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, I think it's one of those castings that you can't imagine it any other way. You know, with John Travolta and yeah, Olivia Newton-John. It's just, I mean, that movie was huge, is huge, and I think it's one of those rare movies that everybody watches growing up. I mean, even I've seen it, or even I saw it when I was a kid, and I know that, I mean, my family are probably lean towards music a little bit more than, you know, average families, but I think as a musical, it's one of those most watched even by people that don't really watch musicals. And, you know, the soundtrack, I know that when I was at university, I mean, we're talking about, you know, me being 19 years of age and 20 years of age, and them still playing songs from the Grease soundtrack at, you know, the club that we used to go to. I mean, it's like the student union clubs. It was all on site, and everyone from the university went there on a Friday night and a Saturday night. But towards the end of the night, they'd always play, you know, songs from the Grease soundtrack, and everyone loved it. So it's just timeless, and those songs just get everybody on the dance floor. So it's great. And you know, talking about the voice that she had, and that is very much part of those songs that were played, you know, at my university. Her voice sells the songs, and you know, it's just because she's an amazing vocalist. And I think a lot of people, if you haven't seen my analysis video on Olivia Newton-John, check it out, because a lot of people weren't really aware to the level that she was vocally, just on a totally different level, just total control, and had control of every single register, every single part of her voice. So check out that analysis video on the channel if you haven't seen it. So anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. M has donated $5 as well and says, stay cool. So thank you for that. And I was trying to stay cool as much as possible. And yes, Jennifer, I can see, is just about to go through saying, Orlando's saying, not Sandy, but not Susan, but Sandy. I think that's what Jennifer is saying. It's sadly. And then Orlando then says Sandy, not Susan. So I actually misread Phil Sadly as Phil Sandy. But we actually got there in the end. So Orlando must have... What's... Precog. Orlando must have known I was about to say that and then corrected himself very quickly. So you can see it just going through here. Sandy Olsen, not Susan. I have watched Grease 1 million times. How could I get that wrong? With a laughing face. So anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. That's all been ironed out. Generally, when I'm reading things out, I'm trying to take in what I'm saying, but yeah, I have to concentrate on reading. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of things, keeping everything organised, or attempting to. So yes, thank you for that, Sandy. I mean, Susan, it would have been an interesting... I don't think it quite rolls off the tongue the same way as, oh, Susan. Yeah. Anyway, that was me going, no, Sandy, baby. It's not that low, but you know, you get the idea. Right. Let's move on before I'm not going to start singing songs from Greece because yes, I'm sure amongst the hard rock and metal crowd that maybe watch this channel. I don't know, I think actually a lot of people that listen to hard rock and metal do listen to more mainstream kind of pop songs, but they don't necessarily admit it. There are some people that do admit it in the comment section of my videos that say, yeah, I listen to hard rock and metal, but I love this particular song by this particular artist, and yeah, it would have been kind of mainstream pop. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. Thank you. M said stay cool. Thank you for that. Carol donated $10, so thank you for that, Carol. And the message is, in memory of Olivia Newton-John for all of the fantastic music she shared with the world. Love, Xanadu, my favourite of all her movies. Rest in peace. So thank you for that, Carol. And I haven't even seen, I don't know if I've said that correctly, Xanadu, but it's a movie that I haven't actually watched myself. So yeah. It's Greece for me. Unfortunately, yeah, it's the only one I've seen. But I have a little look into that because it's one of those that is ringing a bell, but I don't have anything that I can, pull from my memory for that. But anyway, thank you for that, Carol. I think just the fact that, me being a different generation, I'm sure that my mum and dad know that very well. But thank you, Carol, for that. And Sean has donated $2. Thank you for that, Sean. The message is, Phil, appreciate your amazing content. Like and support with a thumbs up. So thank you for that. Mike has donated £1.79, it looks like. So thank you for that, Mike. And the message is, hi, Phil. Any tips for keeping RP/audiation tip top? So thank you for that, Mike. And I'm getting a bit of a mental blank as to what Mike is referring to there, but I'll have a think about it and I will come back to that question from Mike. So thank you for that, Mike. And audiation, I'm trying to think of, Audacity is, I'm trying to think of maybe programs in my head, DAWs, digital audio workstations. But thank you for that, Mike. Jennifer has donated $5 as well. And it's a message deleted by Carla. So, but thank you for that, Jennifer. And Orlando, oh, this is where we got to. Orlando says, Sandy Olsen, not Susan. I've watched Grease 1 million times. How could I get that wrong, with a laughing face? So thank you for that, Orlando. Right. I think we're probably going to be getting into tonight's cover video because it is 10 to 1 here in the morning. So time is moving along a little bit. Right. Let's see where we are with that vote. I'm going to have to end it first in the top of the comment section. So I've just clicked on that. I didn't look at what it was, but I think it's probably going to be a bit of Dokken in my dreams. Let's have a look. And yeah, I can see at the bottom of that live chat room, it's about to go through. In My Dreams has 62% of the vote. So thank you guys for voting for a little bit of Dokken tonight. Obviously, it's going to be my version of that particular cover. So if you want to, keep on, I'm just waiting for it to go through to make sure that I didn't make this up, that it was In My Dreams. Yes, there it is. So yeah, In My Dreams, 62%. Thought that I didn't quite see it correctly there, but that is correct. Anyway, thank you guys for suggesting this, requesting it over on Patreon in the first place, and we will jump into it once I've found the arrow on my screen. This is the thing, I've got so many things on screen, and because this is a 4K monitor, it means that the arrow is tiny, but it's good because it means I can get lots of things on the screen. But trying to find then things to click on, for example, this button that I need to click on to get the cover video going, I couldn't find the arrow, but I can see it now. So hopefully I'll click on this, it'll work, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. Toss and turn all night in the sheets, and I can't sleep. Night after night, I don't know what it means in my dreams. What can I say or do? You won't come back when you're through. Not realize too late that baby your love has turned away. In my dreams it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. In my dreams you're still by me, just the way it used to be. Calling your name but you're turning away. Please don't leave. Running in circles, waiting to see you in my dreams. What can I say or do? You won't come back when you're through. Not realize too late that baby your love has turned away. In my dreams it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. In my dreams you're still by me, just the way it used to be. In my dreams it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. In my dreams you'll always be. In my heart and in my dreams. In my dreams you'll always be. In my dreams you'll always be. In my dreams your love is strong. In my dreams still the same. And there we have it. That was my version of In My Dreams by Dokken. Of course, thank you guys for voting for that one. I'm just going to lean forward because in order to know when the video is going to stop, I have to hear it. And I think sometimes it makes an echo happen on the microphone. So I don't know whether that's happening now or not, but I thought I'd just change that just in case. Just turn down my output level on my system here, not so you guys can't hear me. Anyway, let me jump back to Mike's question about audiation, because it doesn't surprise me that it's something that didn't initially give me any thoughts in my head, because it's a knowledge, or keeping up to date, or keeping your theoretical knowledge up to date, and or should I say keeping the deep level at the forefront of your mind. And that's certainly something that I don't really bother with, especially if I'm not teaching students that are trying to learn to read music and all of that kind of stuff that I've mentioned on previous live streams. I don't really, I'm one of those musicians that I just like to play, I like to create, and I like to just see where music takes me, rather than spending time sitting down in front of a book and just trying to remember things about music. You know, I kind of tend to like to address the things about music whilst playing, and I think a lot of the stuff theoretically, you know, I don't really mind not keeping up to date too much. I have mentioned on the live streams about, you know, the circle of fifths, how I say that is, you know, a good tool to have as pretty much, I wouldn't even say a starting block. I mean, just having, or stepping stone, I mean, you can use it for that, but I'd say it's just great to understand that to begin with, because it will help you with, yes, so many different things, and, you know, key signatures, and, you know, how many sharps, how many flats you get in each key, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, circle of fifths is, you know, a great thing, but yeah, in terms of getting really deep in theory, it doesn't, you know, if I was really interested in it, then I would get into it more, but I'm not really that interested. I just know as much as I find interesting, and, you know, other things that I don't really feel the need for me artistically, then yeah, I don't worry about kind of sitting down and trying to remember things. And generally, what I will say is, things that you do find interesting, you tend to remember, and things that I do find interesting theoretically about music, then I will explain in the videos, but while playing. So if you're trying to, you know, keep up to date about, you know, just keeping information, the only way to do that is just regularly topping up, you know, everything. And that's, I mean, if I was teaching a student, yeah, that I was, say for example, they were learning to read music, I would have an app on my tablet or my phone that would take them through reading. And it's an exercise that I used to do as well, where it scrolls from left to right, and unfortunately you didn't have it on a guitar, you had to, you know the piano, so you had to press the key that all of the notes related to and the keys that the notes relate to, and as you progress, as you get better, it speeds up. And then, I mean, it's great for students because it keeps your score, and then, you know, however many you get wrong, you then get a penalty at the end for your score, and they gradually speed up with, you know, reading music. And obviously we have to now get their guitar playing and attribute what they can see on screen onto the fretboard. That was kind of the different step, that they're kind of using the piano on the screen, but even just seeing the notes and pressing the right keys on the piano, at least they were finding out that, oh, that's an A, that's a C, that's a D, you know. So yeah, it helped quite a lot. I can't remember what that app was called, but it was really useful, whatever it was, because it was more like a game. So, you know, students were learning, and it was something that I, you know, found interesting to do. So that is something that I would do daily when I was teaching, kind of more theory-based stuff, just to kind of keep topped up. But if I'm not teaching that, like for now, I don't do that because I don't really have the need for doing that at the moment, and because I'm not teaching anything on that kind of level, then yeah, I don't really miss it either. You know, I don't mind, yeah, not kind of reading music. I think at some point when I feel like it's gonna need a little bit of a refresher to, you know, keep up with the speed of reading music, if I find that, oh, you know, I'm struggling, then I'll probably just top it up a little bit. But yeah, for me, it's not something that I'm particularly that bothered about. But it's all about what you're into. Some people really find the theory interesting, and that's what they get into, and they might even find the theory more interesting than the playing. But I learned to play by listening and, you know, replicating. And you know, I've said on the live streams before that I didn't know any theory when I started. I didn't know any theory for ages. I was working out, you know, Jimi Hendrix songs and Gary Moore, listening to lead and, you know, trying to break it down and figure out what it is, not knowing anything about anything, but still being able to, you know, play, and I had a lot of technique. But yeah, that's how I learned to play. So that's pretty much, when I'm left to my own devices, that's what I revert to, is just how things sound, and yeah, trying to communicate through the instrument, because I think that's, yeah, the most important thing. And then you can write it down afterwards if you want to. But anyway, I thank you, Mike, for that donation and the question. So let's probably get into tonight's pick roulette because we are past 1 a.m. Well, 1 minute past 1 a.m. here in the UK. I'm just looking in the PayPal window. There have been donations in there. So thank you for those and ones that I haven't addressed yet. But we will jump into those after we've got into the pick roulette for tonight. So good luck by the way, I was going to say good luck everybody, but by the way, I can see that we have passed our likes goal for tonight. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. You can still do that if you're in that live chat room, and if you're watching this on catch up as well. Every single like helps the live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. Stardust Unicorn, thank you for that $5 donation as well. Support band to Wings of Pegasus, and that is a straight up donation without a message, but thank you for that, and you'll see it going through the live chat room in a second. Right, let's get into tonight's pick roulette. And I did notice that Anna sacrificed herself in that live chat room. She said she wanted to be the top tip for tonight. So Anna Cochran is going to be the top tip for tonight's pick roulette. Let's get everything on screen and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. So if this is your first live stream and your first pick roulette, you'll see that we have lots of names here, but the darker segments are the t-shirts. So if we land on one of those, then somebody goes away with a signed Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. I can see that Anna's going through saying I volunteer as top tip. So yes, don't worry, that has been already logged in. So right, yeah, if we land on one of these, we have a t-shirt roulette where you get a custom made signed Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. If we land on a name, then somebody's going away with the Wings of Pegasus signed pick, and it's the only way that you can get your hands on a signed pick is to win it in the pick roulette in the live streams. So good luck to everybody. And I mean, we've given the wheel a spin. We're going to see who's going to win. It is slowing down. I didn't pick out Anna's name before it started spinning, but maybe the first time we see it is when we land on her name, and there it goes. So close, yet so far. Close to a t-shirt, but is it going to be Laurie, or will it get as far as Neil? And it is Laurie who is the winner for tonight. So congratulations to you, Laurie. If you can, let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room. That would be much appreciated so that she can get everything that she needs from you in order to get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. So a relatively close one tonight, but sadly, yeah, Anna didn't win the top tip, so I maintain my 0% winning streak with that particular side of the pick roulette. But thank you everybody for entering. I always say double your chances of winning by tuning in to the Saturday night live streams as well as the Tuesday night live streams, because we have a pick roulette whenever we hit the likes goal for the previous week's live stream. So Laurie is the winner tonight. Congratulations to you. Right, let me see if I can get everything off screen. Back to this screen. And I'm going to open the entries now for next week's pick roulette because we have hit that goal tonight. So what we need to do is type in here, if you want to get your name on next week's pick roulette, we have at Carla Murray. In order to tag Carla, type I agree. And oh, by the way, we're going to have a Moises wheel spin as well. So I'm going to do that in a second, because you can type I agree and then type in app in capital letters at the end there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to address the donations while you guys are entering in for next week's pick roulette, and the app if you want a year's subscription to the Moises app that I featured on the channel about a month ago, maybe a little bit more than that. then you can do that now in the live chat room. Just copy what everybody's doing there. Just put app in capital letters after your I agree. So we will be having that app roulette at the end of the live stream. I tell you what, we'll end with that so that you guys have a chance to enter, and so that we can still see all of the entries going through there. Right, let me... Orlando has donated $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. Again, the message is friendly tip. If you have not hit that like button, hit it. It helps Phil's algorithm with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yes, my algorithm, or the YouTube algorithm, I'm sure that, more likes is something that gets the videos out there a little bit more, and the live streams as well. So thank you for that, Orlando. Yep, every thumbs up counts. So if you can hit a thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. Right, let's get into the donations that came in over on PayPal, because I wanted to do that. And then we'll get into the app roulette to finish with for tonight. And it's 7 minutes past 1 here, so we've got a little bit of time left. Right, let me just scroll up, and let me get these on screen so you guys can see it as well. There we have it. Suzanne has donated £4.39. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And the message is, hi Phil, I was one of the lucky ones to say goodbye to Olivia a month ago. There were a few of us that made a personal video sent to Olivia and received a thank you message from Olivia herself. Enjoy your new computer. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And thank you for that little story as well. Again, it's weird, saying that Olivia, isn't around anymore, but it's good to hear that she did get a personal video. And yeah, she very much struck you as one of those down-to-earth people that would reply to everything and say thank you to her fans. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Olivia sent a thank you message as well, because that's the kind of person that she was, just a normal, down-to-earth kind of person. But thank you for that, Suzanne. And Alison has donated £7, so thank you for that, Alison. And the message is, hello Phil, did you ever take any guitar lessons when you were starting out, or are you completely self-taught? Cheers. So thank you for that, Alison. And no, I never had a lesson. I didn't go to have lessons or pay for lessons. It's just something that my dad plays guitar, and he just showed me the basic chords to begin with. And yeah, like I've just said in this live stream, I just figured everything out from listening and trying to find where the notes were on the guitar. So yeah, I've never, to this day, I've never had a lesson. But I mean, it's weird how things work out, because I got into teaching because, first of all, people would ask me, do you teach? And at that point I didn't, because they might come and watch me play live, and they say, can you teach me how to play what you were playing, or how you play? Because I started out playing in cover bands, so it meant that I was playing other people's solos, and then people that would watch the cover band would say, can you teach me how to play that solo from Guns N' Roses or whatever song we were playing? So that's how firstly I was asked to teach, but then I taught on behalf of a shop, where I then went to the job interview for that particular shop, and then I ended up doing that. So yeah, I ended up teaching the guitar, having never had a lesson myself. But I think a lot of people end up that way, that you end up teaching because, this is, it reminds me of a saying that loads of people get wrong when they say, I can't even remember what the wrong version is, but it's something like people that do, or people that can do, or something like that, and people that can't teach. Something like that, where they're kind of getting it wrong, that it should be people that know do, people that understand teach. So yeah, it's something basically saying about yeah, anybody can do something by just copying, but once you understand how to do it, you can teach other people. So it's kind of that deeper level of understanding of what you need to be able to do it. But anyway, a lot of people get that saying wrong in the comments. So when I am doing the videos, it's kind of, I would say, a troll type comment that's saying, oh, you obviously can't do it, that's why you have to teach. It's like, well, no, I did it. That's why I was asked to show people how to do it. Because if you can't do it in the first place, if I couldn't do it in the first place, I wouldn't have been asked to then teach. Because somebody says, oh, I want to know how to do what you're doing. You know, so yeah, but that's one of those sayings that everyone doesn't get it wrong. Lots of people do get it wrong. They don't, understand the original quote, and it just kind of gets lost in translation. And then they end up making the point in exactly the reverse way of the quote that they're trying to quote. But anyway, thank you for that, Alison. And let me just scroll up because... it was Aristotle, I think, by the way, if you want to search that quote up. So Jimmy donated £15 and 83 pence. Thank you for that, Jimmy. And the message is, Philip is just a cool dude. I would love to see a vocal analysis of Greta Van Fleet, lead singer, with one of his 2022 live performances and or his live produced performances from their YouTube. Example, Candlelight Sessions, Light My Live. So thank you for that. And Light My Live. I'm not sure whether... Oh, Light My Live. Or whether Light My Life or Light My Live. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that out because... I know a few Greta Van Fleet tunes, but I don't know that one. So thank you for that, Jimmy. I'll check out that particular performance or that particular song. But I have done a video on Greta Van Fleet here on the channel somewhere. It was a long time ago, so it means that we didn't have the pitch monitoring software. And I know that some people in the comment section do say on old videos, oh, why didn't you do the analysis with the pitch monitor? And I have to reply, it's because the technology didn't exist back when I was doing those videos, kind of 3 or 4 years ago. We couldn't isolate vocals. It might have been possible, but it would have been you would have had really expensive gear in order to do it. Even saying that, I don't think isolation software has been readily available until the last, I say, 2 years. So yeah, the videos for 3 or 4 years ago, it's just something that physically was not possible with the technology that existed at that time. So they are on the more recent videos. And yes, I'll probably revisit older videos, or at least feature singers that I have done in the past, but now with the pitch monitoring software. So thank you for that, Jimmy. That is something that I'll make a note of and do in the future. So let me try and keep everything organised. Right, it's almost 1:15 here, so we are going to be closing the live stream soon. But before we do, we've got to have our Moises app roulette. So I don't know what I should do here. Maybe we'll do the whole pick intro again to give me a chance to get the wheel up on screen. And let me just make sure that I get the right wheel to go to. Right, we're going to jump into the app roulette, even though this is going to say pick roulette or Tuesday stream roulette, whatever it says on this graphic that I don't actually watch because I'm having to click lots of buttons to get it all up on screen. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the second pick roulette or roulette wheel of the live stream. I managed to save that because I was going to say the wrong thing. Right, anyway, I'll see you guys in a minute. Rock. And we're now connected so the live stream can continue. Let's jump into the Moises app wheel. This is the problem. I'm clicking so many buttons. They're really close together. If you click on the wrong one, the wrong thing will pop up. Right, so, and it actually looks like it was kind of semi-disconnecting there. Right, let's jump into this pick roulette. Hopefully it'll work this time. Let's have a look. Fingers crossed. And it was second time lucky. I clicked on the right button the second time. Right, here we have the Moises Wheel Roulette, and we're going to spin this wheel. Whoever wins gets a year's subscription to the Moises app. So good luck everybody on this wheel, and we are going to be ending the live stream soon, so this really is your last chance to get on the wheel for next week. Just type I agree, tag Carla Murray in your comment, and type app in capital letters if you want to have your name on the equivalent of this wheel next week. So we are slowing down, and it looks like, is it going to be Susan and Dennis? I think it might be, because these segments are bigger, so everyone gets a better chance of winning, and it is going to stop at some point. And it is Susan and Dennis who are the winners tonight, so congratulations to you guys. And yeah, you have won the year's... Oh look, it says congratulations, winner on your Free Moises app subscription. So Susan and Dennis are the winners tonight, and as you guys all know, they are moderators. But Susan and Dennis, if you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room, that would be fantastic, so that she can get all of the details that she needs in order to make that Moises app subscription yours, and then I can get the email over to Raphael. And don't worry guys, if you have won and you haven't got access immediately, it's because it's down to me to get in touch with Raphael. Sometimes it takes me a few days. I do have admin days on Mondays and Thursdays, so those are the days generally that I can get everything done. So yeah, congratulations to Susan and Dennis tonight. Right, let me get rid of this from the screen and we'll go back to me. If you are watching this on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up, it all counts. But thank you guys for joining me tonight on the live stream. A big shout out to the moderators for doing a fantastic job, as always, Susan and Dennis included. And you know, I always say that you don't have to donate, but thank you guys for all of the donations tonight. They do make a huge difference, and fingers crossed, by maybe Friday night, but definitely, hopefully by Saturday night, we'll have the new computer up and running. And I think it's, yeah, going to make things a lot easier, especially for my video editing. And, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, relatively recently, over the last kind of 4 or 5 days, maybe the last week, my software that I use for these live streams, when I do the analysis videos, has been, you know, jumping frames and only recording kind of half the frames, so it's really jumpy. It means I have to keep starting the video and stopping the video, and, you know, recording and stopping recording, so it has been a bit of a pain. So yeah, for doing the analysis videos, it's starting to become a little bit annoying, so it's great that the new computer will be up and running hopefully on Thursday. I'm going to spend pretty much the whole of Thursday getting that all sorted. Hopefully I can get it sorted on Thursday, but I'll let you guys know, as always, over on Patreon. I'll keep you guys in the loop. So we are going to be having another analysis video tomorrow night. I will be using this computer for that. Friday night, maybe an analysis video, maybe a different kind of video, depending on how my computer setting up goes. But then I will be live again on Saturday night, so hopefully I'll see you guys then. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. As I always say, try to stay as sane and as safe as possible in this crazy world that I live in with you guys. I hope that it doesn't get too hot either, because here in the UK, yeah, I don't think we're made for this heat. We're definitely not, with the houses as they're built nowadays, keeping all the heat in. But maybe by Saturday it'll be another really hot live stream. Who knows? But irrespective, we will be live streaming, even if it's really hot. I might actually have that little unit going on that live stream. We will see. I might be able to show you that on Saturday, because I think it should be delivered before that. So anyway, here's to a cool rest of the week. Fingers crossed. Probably won't happen, but I will see you guys hopefully on Saturday, but I'll see you guys tomorrow night as well. So have a great rest of the week. And I can see that something just happened on PayPal. I was just about to end, and it is Patricia who's donated £2. Let me just quickly reference this. Patricia, there's a bag of money there. So thank you for that, Patricia. The message is, hi Phil, watching the live stream tonight, assisted by painkillers. Had my ruptured supraspinatus shoulder tendon repaired surgically this past Thursday, plus got my torn rotator cuff stitch up. Groggy, but glad to be here. So thank you for that, Patricia. You're right at the end of the live stream, and Patricia seems to be in the wars at the moment, but so I hope that everything repairs itself. It sounds like don't get me started on tendons, because this live stream will go on for another 2 hours. So anyway, thank you, Patricia, for that donation. I hope that everything goes well with your recovery. Get well soon, and as for everybody else, stay safe, stay sane, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!